Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish Show, your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
And we are representing Texas. I'm excited about that, to be able to say that we've got a podcast and we can represent our home state. Now, don't get us wrong. We love visiting all the other states, but guess what? What's home?
Texas, baby.
Texas is home. You know, when we started thinking about doing a podcast, it wasn't like we sat down and really planned it in the beginning. It was more like, what happened? We've been having a lot of conversations that whole day, texting back and forth and just talking about a lot of things, and then you get that text at what time?
12:04 in the morning.
She remembers the 04.
Because she'll never text me that early in the morning at all.
Yeah, because I'm sleeping at 7. So,
Yeah.
So you got the text and it said what?
You said that you had this crazy idea, and then we talked about it over the phone, and I knew she was serious. But when I got to her house the next day and we just started talking about it even more, and she showed a binder of like 400 pages, I was like, oh, I need to step up and get on your level.
Well, you know what really happened is that when I sent you the text message, and I was like, man, we need to start a podcast called Mother-Daughter, and it was a different word than ISH. Now, if you know slang, you know ISH is kind of short for the other word that I don't use. So I thought, man, if we really want to appeal to the 1 million women that we're trying to build this community for, we have got to use the proper word so that they can bring their daughters around, you know, our type of thing, without having them to use words that maybe they don't use in their home. And so that night I could not sleep, and I just started writing out ideas. And like when I was trying to go to sleep, the ideas kept coming. I said, oh Lord, I need a binder. So I went and I got a binder, and I started putting things in there and saying, okay, well, we can do this, we can do that. You're just building the ideas. So that means, you know, like the next day when you came, I already felt like the podcast was ready. I felt like the podcast was really ready to go. And one thing about me is that when I get an idea, I just don't stop. I was told a long time ago by a client, she said, man, you're like a dog with a bone. You don't stop till you get it. I'm like, I don't even take offense to that. I think that's a great quality to have. So we came up with this goal. And what's that goal again?
To reach a community of 1 million women.
That's right. We want to make this podcast the premier stop that women want to come to with their daughters, to hear discussions that the one thing in the end is to spark the conversation. And if you can spark a conversation, you can really build a community of women who feel comfortable speaking about all those things that really nobody wants to talk about, or maybe you don't have enough information on, or maybe you don't know where to start with the conversation, or it's just uncomfortable. I can honestly say some of the conversations I've had with you in the last 3 weeks, I'm a little shy. I mean, and it's okay, because through this podcast and this kind of talk therapy type of platform, we're going to be able to learn from each other and others. We're going to be able to talk and to hear others talk to us. We're going to have opportunities for people to put comments in our comment space, but also be able to call in and talk to us about certain things. Because I'll tell you something. Have you ever noticed this though, really? When you talk about things, how much better you feel after it, even if there's no resolution, you feel like you still talked about it, right?
Yeah.
So this platform is going to be kind of like a talk therapy, and everything you want to know about your mother, everything you wanted to know about your daughter, because the conversations that we're going to have, they're going to spark real conversations that you could be riding along, you know, to the grocery store and maybe say, well, you know, daughter, have you ever done whatever, or thought about this? Or, you know, you may say, well, Mom, what was it like on the day that I was born? Like, we're going to talk about those type of things. Because have you ever asked me that question?
No, I'm actually thinking about it right now.
That's good, because it was, I actually have to give you the story on 3 weeks before you even born, and then the drama surrounding the day you were born and how the people rushed to the hospital to just see how beautiful you were going to be. It's a story that is absolutely ridiculous. I had aunties coming to the hospital to see you just so they could report back to the rest of the family on what Dawn's baby looked like. I mean, everybody just knew you were going to be so beautiful. And then when they saw you, they were like, oh my God. So anyway, I'll save that story for one of our story times. So we will have story time. We'll be able to really do a lot of teaching now. On the side, we are going to have, of course, all of the channels set up like Patreon and Discord, so that we can have the deeper conversation, so that we can really talk. And we really want to make sure that folks understand that whether you want to have the conversation or not, it's got to be had. Is that right? I mean, because there's been things that, and you know me, I'm one of those people's like, okay, no, tell me what the issue is. Well, you might not want to say what the issue is, but either way it go, we have to talk about it. And some things you're not able to talk with about certain things with people, but we want to make sure that you can talk to your daughter about it.
And then there'll be a lot of topics that you'll feel like you never could ask your mom as well. So it'll give you a little bit of encouragement to bring it up and find different ways to bring it up to your mom.
Right.
So
I mean, those uncomfortable situations about maybe dating or
birds and the bees talk.
Birds and the
you might have
not
never
the
had
birds and the bees. Oh my goodness, those terrible birds. No, just kidding. But you know, it could even be simple things. You know, hygiene type things. It could be, you know, about something, you know, really, really personal. It could be about mental health. I mean, and you know, in the last, I would say 18 months, mental health has been at the top of the conversation in the healthcare community. But imagine if you could bring that same intimate conversation into your own house. You could bring that into a road trip. You can bring that in on vacation. You could bring that if you work with your daughter or moms and daughters. And you know, that's something that we found is that there are so many mothers and daughters who have businesses together. And so, I mean, I think that's awesome. I like husband and wife teams for work, but mom and daughter groups, I mean, we've seen like spas, right? We've seen spas. We've seen all kinds of businesses, hair businesses, what have you seen? Body sculpting businesses. We're going to be visiting some of those businesses. We're going to be doing all types of, here's what's going on, here's what's happening in the world. Now, that part right there is really the exciting thing to me, is when we're going to be talking about what's happening around the world. We're going to be, I won't want to use the word reviewing, but we will be inquiring about different mom and daughter cultures and what happens in certain cultures. For example, in the Mexican community, the quinceañera is a big deal. I really want to explore that whole, from the day you're born and you're a girl, okay, do you start planning for the quinceañera yet, or do you wait? So for me, I'd start planning at that point. So, you know, we want to definitely have the conversation, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's have the conversation. So we definitely want to have you guys to join us weekly for more shows. We've got the Sunday and the Wednesday show. It'll come out around 11 a.m. Central Standard Time every single week for the rest of your life. And for reviews on Saturdays, we're going to be doing amazing hotspot reviews. And when I say reviews, you're never going to hear us talk bad about any company. What we will do is we'll give our opinion on what we thought about something, and then we'll, you know, talk about, you know, what we liked about it, or what we thought, you know, could have been better. But we're not going to disparage any businesses, because we really want to show you where some great spots are. And because we've put a great list together, we know they're going to be really awesome. We're going to be talking about food. We know you love going to the new restaurants, and that's been a good exploration that we've been doing already, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you've gotten some favorite ones. And you tried African food the other day.
Let's
not talk about it yet. Let's save it. Because she called me and she sent me pictures, and I was like, but it looks really good.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about clothing, and tell them about your clothing hauls.
So when we had a photo shoot the other week to, you know, get our pictures up and going for our social media handles that we're getting in place right now, it was about everything I brought in my suitcase. I want to say 98% everything was Shein. And I mean, every time my mom was like, "Ooh, that's cute. Where you got it from?" And every time it was Shein. It was like, at this point they stopped asking.
No. By the end of the day, I said, "You're banned from saying that word. I don't want to hear that anymore, because I've not gotten anything on there yet." So I'm just like, I'm just still waiting. So we're going to be talking about all things fun for women, and then all things conversation with women. Just to talk, we're talking, think about it, from the bottom of your feet to the top of the crown of your head, we will be having the discussion about it. So, I mean, you got to make sure everybody knows about this. They got to tell everybody, right?
Yes, and tell every woman you know about the Mother-Daughter Ish show.
You got to tell everyone, and we are on all of the platforms that are on planet Earth. So, I mean, there's no reason that you can't listen. I don't care where you are in the world. We're going to be on every single platform. We took the time. We put the time in. I like to say blood, sweat, and tears, but it was more like sweat. No tears yet, but I tell you, putting all those channels in places just to make sure that we don't leave any women out. Because when you talk about building a a community of 1 million women. And then once we reach that goal, we'll go even further. But the first goal is to build a community of 1 million women. So do like my daughter said, and definitely tell every woman that you know about the Mother Daughter Ish podcast. And guess what? One little secret, we also have a platform that's going to be for the youngsters. And when I say youngsters, we've got some little princesses that we're going to be sending out some gift boxes to. And so we're building that Patreon account so that we can be able to send out those beautiful pictures and all of those things we're going to be sending to the princesses and sending them their crowns and wonderful little things in the box. So look forward to hearing about us. Look forward to seeing us and hearing us every single week. Again, it's Mother Daughter, capital I, capital S, capital H, ish podcast, or you can call it shows. But anywhere you look up, put in the handle Mother Daughter Ish. Well, bye for now.
Bye. Do you experience issues or any sleep disorders? What about PMS? Any chronic joint pain relief needed? Or migraine relief needed? Well, don't panic, it's organic, baby! Certified Hip Hut is a natural path to good health. Stop by and let us cook you a great meal in-house or to go. Also, please keep in mind, when you visit Certified Hip Hut's location and make an in-house purchase, you will receive a variety of samples to try out. Everyone loves samples, I know I do. Come check us out at our location. We're at 3422 Farm to Market 2920, and that's in Spring, Texas 77388. Have you been looking for the right bags and accessories to go with your perfect summer or fall outfits like me? Visit the Burgatti Collections website. You won't be disappointed. I can tell you firsthand, my mom has a Blue Cross body from the website, and when I tell you that vegan leather feels great, that's right, you heard what I said, vegan. We carry not only vegan leather, but we also carry 100% genuine leather as well. All leather goods are to include vegan, are limited editions, meaning limited quality of styles and colors to produce, which are about less than 50, so it will be first come, first serve. The website is www.borgatticollection.com. That's B as in boy, ORGOTTI collection.com. There are about 75 products to choose from, so make sure you sign up for a chance to win a gift as well. I personally came across a few sunglasses and crossbodies I'm going to have to cop soon, so I hope you guys do the same. And notice that there's free shipping always. And we didn't forget about you fellas either. Make sure you check out their unisex aviators and bags as well.